to another episode of Sideshow Black. Uh, I really do hope everybody out there is praying and are getting right with the Most High. But like my title says, say no to vaccines. That's what we're gonna kind of get into. And also, 2K22 is gonna come out. I think in about 22 hours. I do have it pre-ordered, so you will be seeing content, same content that I put out. Say no to vaccines, and you will see it with 2K gameplay. But without further ado, I'm gonna get into this. I don't want to talk too much. I do want to get into this and get y'all rolling with this information right here. We're gonna jam out first to some music, and then we're gonna get right into the session. Kwame Al-Shiraga, all praise be to the Most High.
understand. Are there any questions? Watch it, man. This game is heavy on me, isn't it? You can see this has become a struggle between good and evil. Satan has a question.
Yes, sir, Chaplain Gill, but since neither one of us are God, I don't think either one of us are in any position to say who's good and who's evil.
Why don't you just ask your question?
We were discussing the disciples. What color were they?
Well, I don't think we know that for certain.
But they were Hebrews, were they not?
That's right.
As was Jesus. Jesus was also a Hebrew.
Why don't you just ask your question?
What color were the original Hebrews?
I have told you that we don't know that for certain.
Then you can't believe for certain that Jesus was white.
Just a moment. God is white. Isn't it obvious?
Well, that is obvious, but we don't know if it's obvious that God is white. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Jesus did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the images of Jesus that are on prison walls and churches throughout the world are not historically correct, because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you ask us to read in Revelation, 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet the color of grass.
Just what are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm proving to you that Jesus was not, and I might quote one of our Indian brothers, he was not a pale face. Amen.
Welcome to the Thinking Man's Templar, where we say one red pill life far outweighs a million blue pill lives, and where the soldiers can come in from the war, remove their armor, drop their swords, and have conversations of life with like-minded men. And indeed, my brothers around the world, once again, I'm at your service. Today's discussion is getting back to the Most High after the red pill. You know, one thing I've learned throughout my life is that I know nothing. And once I came to that conclusion, something inside me began to search. And this is from a young age. I dealt with Islam, Christianity, I read the Torah, and now I've been delving into the Hebrew faith, Israelites, the truth, reading into the scriptures again, knowing the truth about the scriptures and who we are. I've also read the Quran, and all of them offer great wisdom for any man on his journey. And as of late, the reason I haven't been really making videos is because I've been looking at the world. Something inside me says that we are indeed in the last days and time, and that it's time for men in general, black men, whoever you are, it's time for you to try to get an understanding of the Most High. See, what the red pill does for men is it clears out all the clutter, quiets the noise, removes the distractions, and allows a man to finally understand the peace and the tranquility that comes with understanding and appreciating his solitude and his own space. The very things that makes his mind tick, the contents of his soul and his character, want you to quiet the noise. For me, I was drawn back to the Most High. I understood the wickedness that could come in the life we live as men. And I told myself, I took a step back from YouTube in general. I saw the messages a lot of brothers were passing out to the universe, and I chose to step away. I had nothing to say. I had no judgment. But I knew for me, on the path that I've been on as of late, if the message has nothing to do with the Most High or getting your soul right, you understand? I don't want any part of it. I began to put a lot of my videos on private, put them away because I feel like they serve their purpose. And I put probably the most important videos and left them up there, as I feel like it's time for the manosphere to evolve. A lot of the arguments are becoming repetitive, beefing and debates, and there's no answers to these questions. But all I do know is from what I see in the world, and the black community as a black man, or the so-called community, is that there's a lot of wickedness amongst our people. A lot of godlessness, a lot of rebelliousness to the Most High. See, the curses in Deuteronomy state that the children of Israel, which is us, will face curses and generational curses that will span 400 years for disobeying the commandments of the Most High when we were led out of Egypt into the new land. We were given the commandments and we didn't follow. So our people were cursed. And in those curses, it said that everything that we try to do, everything we try to put together to push back from these curses and our oppression, it said that we be taken to a land, not our home, a language we don't speak, and that the people who oppressed us would be merciless on us for 400 years straight. And like I said, everything we do positive would be destroyed and uprooted before any real good can be done. And you can look at that in any movement that black people have ever tried to do since our inception into the North American Babylonian lands has been destroyed. Slave revolts, to Black Wall Street, to the Black Panthers, to Malcolm X, to Martin Luther King, to anyone. Huey Newton, Marcus Garvey, all of these men tried to push back against the curses of the Most High. All failed. The Civil Rights Movement, and everything up until this point. Any person who was one of the children of Israel was attempted to push back against these curses has failed. Because to this very day, the so-called Black American, or African American, whatever you want to call it, black people have taken on a culture of pure wickedness, lustfulness, greed, enviousness, debauchery, violence, murder, thievery, cheating, all forms of sin and evil is part of our culture. We speak about it in our music. We see it played out in our communities. See, the one thing I didn't notice about people when they spoke of the brother Nipsey Hussle was killed in Los Angeles, that, again, we live in a culture that has been sewn and quilted in the fabrics of wickedness. And that man, even though he may have had good intentions, he was in the belly of the beast. And understand, no matter what you do,
You lost Zone A. You captured Zone C.
or who you try to be, until black people are delivered from these curses and this culture of wickedness, the Nipsey Hussles of the world will continue to be murdered and cut down, just like all of those before him. This is nothing new, see. I wasn't surprised by it. I wasn't blown away. I was definitely saddened by the loss of that brother, but I can't say I was surprised. I mean, all my life, I watched all of the drug dealers and all the guys with the big money. They were all, most of them were murdered. Just for having nice things, having a nice car. Even if they were doing good things, you know, buying things for the kids and trying to be a good guy. You know what? Eventually, those brothers still were murdered. I remember those men's faces to this day. We should drive around our neighborhoods, and we say, "Hey, what's up, man?" Walking down the street as kids. "Yo, what's good?" And we run up to their car and they give us money and dollars, tell us to stay in school. One brother from my neighborhood named Stanley was murdered in his own home. And you know what all the good he tried to do? It all ended up being his parents pawning off his jewelry, selling his Porsche. Because someone who hated him broke in his home with his whole family dead and killed him. And this was a long time ago, but I still remember that. The police and the yellow tape. See, our community has become a brothel and a war zone. And there's no good that will come of it. See, after the red pill, a lot of men can see the truth. And what you need to understand is that if you really look deep into the curses, see, the man who killed Nipsey Hussle, his getaway driver was a succubi. Job well done. Not once did she maybe say, "No, this is not a good idea. I don't think you should do this." He killed that man. He jumped back in that car and they drove off. And then when that lady was arrested, she was let go scot-free, free of charges, for actually being the getaway driver and accessory to murder. Now, if that doesn't tell you that there's something wicked amongst our people. I don't know what will. But I don't want to spend too much time speaking on that man. See, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for anybody who tries to do good. But no one ever wants to speak of the curses on our people. We have to get back to the Most High. See? That's why I don't listen to a lot of red pill YouTubers no more. I couldn't. Because their message and what I was beginning to learn and understand about how a man should carry himself. Because not all about being select or rich or good looking or having money and having access to women. See, it's about what you do in the sight of the Most High. It's how you carry yourself in accordance to the commandments that were given to your people. How a man should move in righteousness. You can have all the game in the world. You can have all the access to all the harlots you want. But as it said in scripture, her bedchambers will lead you straight to hell. She's a shallow pit. A strange woman is a shallow pit, it says in the scripture. And all it seems men are teaching on YouTube is about how to get access to strange women. Though the scripture clearly forbids that type of activity. That's sin. That's wickedness. That's adultery. You want to lay with an adulteress? You want to contaminate your spirit? Go ahead and do it. Be my guest. But it seems like the red pill has become more about debauchery and being able to score women and being lustful. And this is about saving souls, saving men, saving our spirits. See? Because once we fall, everything falls behind us. The women around us can be wicked. The people around us can be wicked. Everything can be wicked around you. But as long as you walk in the sight of the Most High, none of that stuff matters to you. The only thing I care about nowadays is standing in accordance with the Most High and standing guard and being prepared for what's coming. Because we are indeed in the last days. So any message that's not warning our people to get back to God, get back to the Most High, get back to Ahaya, get back to Messiah, get back to Yahweh, get back to Allah, get back to whoever. It's about being a righteous man. If Yahweh can make you a better man than Allah, so be it. If you can walk in righteousness, if you can walk with some type of structure that allow you to be a man with good spirit. I'm not trying to preach any religion to anybody. But the real fruits of life, the real fruits of existence, only come from a life living righteously. It doesn't come from all the money you make. It doesn't come from all the women you can bed. See? All you're doing is living unclean anyway. You can dominate women, you can beguile them, you can use use game, you can use tactics, you can do whatever you want. But what are you getting? And what are you doing to yourself? Because there'll be a price to pay for what you do, conscious of what you know is wrong. And you continue to do it anyway. See, I begin to limit my YouTube intake only to brothers who I know their message is rooted in their understanding of the Most High God. And that they have some type of understanding. But I don't want to hear about debauchery. I don't want to hear about men arguing about Pookies and Ray Rays, who she's fucking, who she's doing this with. You focus on getting right with the Most High. That's what you do. You have a voice that reaches across the world. Did the red pill, did the black manosphere forget about God? Did they forget about the Most High? Did you forget about righteousness? Is it all about women and how to get them and how to procure a harlot, a succubi, a witch into your bed so that she can corrupt your spirit with all the demonic forces that are dwelling inside her being? All the demonic forces that are dwelling in our communities, all the evils and the wicked nature of people, I can see it. There's no other answer to it. I had to go back to the scriptures. I had to go back to understanding why this is a non-stop, unyielding occurrence in the black community. Bloodshed, death, debauchery, lust. Completely unlitigated. And I see our people sinking lower and lower and lower. You don't see it? What has the red pill truly done for you? If it hasn't taken away the distractions between you and the higher power, what has it done for you? Truly. What has the red pill even done for you? If all it's taught you was how to get in the minds of wicked, broken women. See, we can go back to the garden and we can speak of understanding that when Eve did what she did, the Most High told her that between you and Satan there will be an iniquity in your womb. And that when that there will be a child that you will give that will one day step his foot on the serpent and crush his skull. But from that point, Satan knew that all he had to do was corrupt the woman. And there will be no chance of her birthing the Redeemer of our people, or any woman in her lineage. See, Satan knew if you want to destroy people, or you want to prevent the Redeemer from returning and destroying him, is if you corrupt the woman. See, because an unpure, defiled woman cannot give birth to the Messiah. See. And if she goes around and aborts the other children, 50 million other babies, then his reign will continue. See? I just want brothers to understand that there's more to life. There's more to your existence than understanding the nature of women, but still dealing in wickedness with them. Just because your culture is wicked and it tells you that you're supposed to be debaucherous and lustful and a whoremonger, that's your culture. Your culture is innately wicked. If the world goes right, you go left. And I got to give a shout out to Black Ram, because I've learned a lot from that brother. And one time, Black Ram was in a live stream and brothers were talking about all this debauchery and all this laying with women and all this shit. And he said, I don't believe in that because of my spiritual beliefs. I don't move like that. The women I deal with are on the righteous level. It was like everyone was just quiet. It's because the red pill doesn't really go that way anymore. It's all the same conversation, the same talks, the same live streams, the same thing over and over. Our people are so removed from the Most High that when things go left and things go wrong and people get murdered and people die and things get destroyed and we make a movement and it gets crippled and we wonder why this is happening, and you don't ask the questions spiritually to try to get an understanding of why. I looked to the scripture and I found the answer. This is a curse. It's always been a curse. Generation. A lot of us are victims to generational curses, see. A lot of us, the sins of our fathers and the sins of our mothers, see, those sins, those curses, those are bloodline. Those are curses in the bloodlines. You have to ask the Most High to relieve you of those generational curses. You have to pray those away and walk in righteous faith. You do what you want, but that's what I choose to do. There are things that your mother's done, your father has done, that they never repented for. And those curses transfer into your life now. Now you're the one with the curse. You may have walked the righteous path, but maybe your mother has had an abortion, or your father has been a wicked man and he's killed people or robbed people or did wicked things. And a lot of you brothers don't know your father. You don't know how wicked he may have been. You don't know how wicked your mother may have been. A lot of us are born into sin. We are born of sin. We are created in lust, not love, not a righteous union. We were born from wickedness. Don't you think that would enable a generational curse to be passed down to you? Ah, you don't hear me. You're ready to turn this video off. You're like, who this guy think he is talking about God? I don't want to hear about God. I want to hear about how to get some pussy, right? I need to get my dick wet. I don't want to hear about the Most High. Because I like where I am. I don't believe. I don't care. Now, if that's your stance, brother, I'm not a preacher. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just telling you what I see. And what I see in the manosphere is quite ugly. It's becoming about who can make the best videos and have the best commentary on who gets the most ass and who doesn't get ass and who's supposed to get fucked and who's not supposed to get fucked and who's supposed to not just... It's just mind-boggling to me. That's why you won't catch me on nobody's fucking live stream Excuse my language. You won't catch me on no one's live streams, no debates, no hangouts, no thanks. None of that stuff really applies to where I'm going, where I choose to go. Because one thing I understand, there's no real red pill without the Most High. Because just the fact that you gain this information, isn't it a blessing within itself? Don't you think that you were chosen? Don't you think you were chosen to see the truth? Don't you think that someone blessed you with the ability to break this stuff down and understand it and walk in a better path and make your life better as a man? Don't you think that that was a blessing?
You captured Zone A.
Again, one thing I do know is that I know nothing. My journey is just beginning. I have a long way to go, but I'm still here for you, brothers. But please understand that we are indeed in the last days. You can look around you and see the world is going straight to hell. But those who choose to ignore it, that's on you. And I'm not here to take a dig at any YouTubers or anyone who creates their content. They can make as much content about what they want as they please. They're their own man. But for me, I'll choose to separate myself. You know, shout out to all the brothers who are trying to get the message of the Most High out there, who walk in righteousness. And their message is rooted in righteousness. And they're simply trying to help. But I don't want to really deal with anybody who's just talking about debauchery, wickedness, and being a certain type of way to do a certain type of thing, a certain type of woman, a wicked world with a wicked woman who's just tainting your soul, living unclean. I don't know where the red pill is going. I don't know where the manosphere is going. I don't know. But as I see the message and the constant bombardment of the same three discussions over and over and over, I choose to just stay away. And that's for everyone who's been emailing and asking why I haven't done any videos, or those in the comment section asking, where have you been? It's just, I just observe from afar. And I realize certain aspects of the manosphere I want no parts of. Don't associate me. Don't throw me in the hat with anyone. Those who I respect and admire know that. They see me in their comment sections, praising them, telling them God bless. I mean, the Most High guide your steps. They know who they are. Now, I'm not here to judge anybody, of course, like I said earlier. I'm just giving my observation. And for me, from the life that I used to live, the places I used to be, and the things I used to do, I lived a wicked, sinful life in the darkness. You see, what's so crazy about it is that when you're living in this type of world and you're doing these things, it seems so normal, right? You feel like you're supposed to be living this way. You're supposed to be a drunkard. You're supposed to be high. You're supposed to be a whoremonger. That's what you feel you're supposed to be. Because you're in a wicked land. Don't you understand? When I speak to the brothers I speak with, we talk about the Most High. We talk about Scripture. We talk about how we're going to get our soul right for what's coming. We talk about how to maintain and be righteous in a land that makes it so easy to be wicked. And we try to understand that as brothers. And we keep each other sharp. We send each other scriptures. We send each other sermons. We give each other words of encouragement. We are in the last days, brothers. The end times are near. Whether you believe that or not, that's on you. But for all the other brothers in the comments who understand what I'm saying, they see it. They understand that there's no red pill without the Most High. Because the Most High is the ultimate red pill. It's the truth. And those who don't speak the truth, they may have some truth to their words, but without the Most High, your message is quite limited in my eyes. How much salvation, how much help and assistance can you offer brothers if you don't offer them, or at least try to point them in the direction of righteousness? What kind of message are you really offering? What are you really doing? What's your purpose? I don't know when the red pill became about being godless. But if that's what the red pill is, I don't want no parts of it. So for all those who are listening to this message, all those who are in the truth, and or those who go into the mosque or going to the temple and praying and keeping their soul clean and walking righteously, not just talking it, but living it. Staying away from wickedness, wicked men, wicked women. Keeping the diet of your mind clean. For all those who are doing that, I pray that you keep the strength to maintain that lifestyle. And that the peace that it brings you and the wisdom, I hope it guides you into a better place, man. As a man. I pray that it does. I'm not here to tell anyone what's right or what's wrong, man. As far as who you believe in, like I said, if that message, if that book, if those studies or whatever you're learning is making you a better man, and you're walking a righteous path, and you're following some type of statutes and commandments, that's a blessing. I'm not here to knock you. I want to say congrats. I hope you make it where you're going. And I hope that your family and everyone around you is blessed. And really, it's about us breaking these generational curses. And us staying true to the Most High. Because when the hammer comes down, and the flames come down, God's chosen people will be the judge. Those who walked in righteousness. The red pill ain't nothing if you're not going about it righteously. The red pill means absolutely nothing to you as a man if it's not directing you towards the higher power. I believe in Yahweh. And it's making me a better man for it. Or because of it. And that's all I can ask. But I'd rather take my time and study and understand these scriptures. Because over time, See, you gotta understand that a lot of black men, you were introduced to the Most High in that clown show we call it Baptist church. See, women, a lot of us have grown up in single parent households and we weren't given the word truthfully. We were given a broke down, diluted, twisted, discombobulated message. We didn't know what was going on. So a lot of black men walk away from the Most High. See, men keep the order of the Most High in the household. Without a righteous man in the household, wickedness is allowed to run free. And you can see that in the community now. Wickedness allowed to run free, man. And it's a shame because all of the truly righteous men with a good heart and good nature, they're choosing a life of isolation to stay away from the wickedness because it's so rampant. It's everywhere you look. It's in the music, it's in the movies. I sit around people and I hear them talk. I listen to youngsters talk, and I can't believe how they sound. The conversations of adults sound almost like children. People in their 30s and 40s talking like kids. I don't think a man can truly get to manhood completely without the Most High, without repenting, without traveling with his head towards the sky, man. Like I said, man, you can do whatever you want to do. You can take whatever path you want to take. But as far as the thinking man goes, or what I believe, because this is what I believe, there is no red pill without the Most High. I don't care what you say. Like I said, you can look at that brother Nipsey Hussle, and you can see that that man was raised with the matriarchal mind state, that he had to protect the mother deity. He had to protect the mother, because most of these guys in the streets, they say, oh, the streets raised me, right? So they believe that they have to go back and protect the element that raised them, the dysfunctional, wicked element, the evil that he's probably seen throughout his life, but yet he still felt that he needed to walk around as a millionaire amongst wickedness. It ain't about not liking your people. It ain't about that. See, there was wickedness at work that day, and he didn't see it. Because a lot of matriarchal-minded men aren't meant to survive. Even those who got a sense of goodness. Just because you have that matriarchal mindset, you can still be destroyed. Because you're still going to dwell around that mother deity, which is that ghetto, that hood that raised you. You're going to be incapable of separating yourself. And that's what leads to the demise of so many brothers, because when they actually find a way out, they go right back in from one form or another, whether it be that succubi you're laying with, and you knock her up, and now that matriarchal torture can be inflicted on your life. That matriarchal mind state. That men that build and secure a life for themselves, they don't know how to walk away. They have to go back and protect what has almost destroyed them, what has almost killed them, what has almost distinguished their light. Or extinguished, excuse me. Nipsey Hussle's light was extinguished by the very element that he escaped. As you can see, like I said, that man that killed him was driven to do that by a succubi who drove another black man and dropped him off to go kill another black man. And she probably enjoyed every minute of it. And when she got arrested, she was set free for a job well done. Like I said, if you don't know wickedness right before your eyes, as I said in my video, Black Devils, just because they have your skin tone, just because they share your lingo, or your upbringing, or you're from the same block, doesn't mean they're not a black devil. And it doesn't mean they don't exist. See, once you get to a certain spiritual plane, the flesh cannot hide the demonic forces behind the eyes, my brothers. You have to see in order to survive. And for me, the only thing that is allowing me to see deeper than the basic constructs of female nature is allowing me, or allowing myself, with this newfound freedom of thought and clarity, to look into the scriptures for the answers, because they're there. I don't know where the red pill is going. I don't know where the black manosphere is going, but as long as brothers are taking this route they're going, you can count me out. You can come to my channel for certain content and certain things, but certain things I will no longer be speaking about. I will no longer engage. It's old news. Been there, done that. If I haven't spoken about it, a million other brothers have spoken about it, and ad nauseum. It's over, it's done, it's dealt. It's time to move to a higher frequency, a higher plane of existence for the black Israelite man, the Hebrew man. It's time for you to see the light. And if you're already seeing the light, you got a long way to go on this journey. But please be wary of the wickedness around you. Please keep your eyes peeled to the evildoers that are in your life, your friends, your family, even the ones that are in your bed. Yeah. Brothers, cover your six, please. It's the thinking man's Templar. May the Most High guide your steps, and may you be safe and secure on your journey.